Hello and welcome to Terraria. My name's Todd, also known as Theo Benjamin, and this is, of course, Terraria. Last time we left off, uh, not here. Last time, truthfully, we left off fighting the Brain of Cthulhu and winning. As I stated last time, though, we're going to start up a new world, and we're going to fight, of course, the Eater of Worlds, and we're going to try and get his expert drop. So that's what we're doing. This is currently a small world that I just generated. As you can see, it's kind of tiny. And we're going to go fight him. We do have our Crimson Armor. We got all the stuff that we had previously. I took a generous loadout, which should allow us to get to where we need to go. And then we're going to go fight him. I don't think there's anything I really need to say aside from that. I would like to get my hands on the Vile Thorn, a Band of Star Power, and of course the expert drop from the Eater of Worlds. So those are some of the things that I would like to get my hands on while we're here. But they aren't critical. They aren't required. The only thing that is required is the Worm Scarf, which is the Eater of Worlds expert drop. So we just need to kill him once. However, if we manage to get the other stuff, that would be really cool, because it'll be pretty helpful for us. As you can see, the thing that allowed us to cheap out the Brain of Cthulhu is still very strong, our good old slime mount here. I wasn't expecting such an easy fight with the Brain of Cthulhu the way it went down, but sometimes that's just how it goes. And also, forgive me if I sound a little bit different. It came down with what I believe to be just a minor head cold, which it's just a sore throat at the moment. So if I sound a little bit different or something sounds a bit off, that's probably why. Or if I refrain from talking too much. Also, this episode may be very long or very, very short. Because I'm sick and I'm just not feeling super great, if we manage to kill him in one go, the Eater of Worlds that is, and get his drops, then I will probably just forgo spending any extra time, and I'll probably just end the episode there this time. Just because I want to save my voice, so hopefully I don't lose it for any reason. That way I can continue to do videos and talk with friends, of course. And yeah, it would just be really unfortunate for me to lose my voice. It does remind me, of course, that especially in our world today with everything going on, make sure to always practice proper hygiene and whatnot. And wash up after yourself after you come home, and wash your hands and potentially even your face if you feel like you touched anything to your face. That sort of thing will definitely help you to preventing you from getting sick. And also, of course, making sure to wash any produce or whatnot that you might have gotten at a store of any sort before you eat it will also help you from getting food poisoning, or perhaps getting poisoning from any sort of insecticides they might use on said fruit and or vegetables. It's always good to do that. I don't know if that's just like a common practice, but it definitely is in my house. Yeah, it's just kind of weird with all the different things going on in the world. It's definitely kind of spooky to get sick at this time, but hopefully it's just a minor head cold, as I'm thinking it is. And here we are. We are at the Eater of Worlds kind of area here, the corruption. Very obvious that it's the corruption, and we can definitely dig around here now. We do have lots of extra damage, so that's kind of good. Another thing that we might choose to do is use our slime mount to get us at a little bit of extra jumps. It is kind of a shame that this corruption is in an ice biome, as the water will slow us down. But I'm hoping that we can kind of avoid that if we're lucky here, by maybe even setting up some ways for the water to kind of get drained. Let's get that done. Actually, you know what? We're not going to worry about it. I think our slime mount still moves just as fast as it always did, even in the water. So I think we're good, actually. Of course, the major thing when fighting the Eater of Worlds is you want to have a nice little area above you so you can jump up. And we've got lots of those thanks to the little areas above us. Let's cut down through here, and we'll start getting to some of these corruption orbs. what is going to be in orb number 1? We found a deadly musket. Not a bad thing to find. And a horrible chill goes down our spine, of course. Let me see. Is the musket better than what we currently have? Might be. Slow speed, fast speed, 17 damage versus 39. I'd say the musket's better. It fires quick enough that I believe it would match the capability of our good old Undertaker. And also just the sheer fact that it does a lot more damage, almost 4 times as much damage, means that we kind of get the extra DPS there, so I think the musket's a little bit better. You also might have noticed that we were kind of like had an aura around us there for a second when we'd taken damage. That was our health regeneration aura. Let's dig down. Dig over now. So we need to get to this Crimson Orb here, or not Crimson Orb, but Corruption Orb. Cursed Orb, whatever it's referred to as, I forget. We'll break this one. What is this one? A musket? Another musket, of course. Of course it's another musket. What else would it be? Oh, Criminies. That was my voice cracking there, thanks to a bit of soreness. Quite annoying that, isn't it? Let's cut down through here. Thankfully, because our musket is what it is, and our slime mount is what it is, we have some pretty good luck fighting against these enemies here. So yeah, I guess the other item we might really want to get our hands on is a Band of Star Power, now that I think about it, which I think only drops from Corruption Orbs. I don't think they drop from Crimson Orbs, now that I think about it. So even if we went back to our world and fought and broke all of the Crimson Orbs, we wouldn't get a Band of Star Power. And a Band of Star Power, if you didn't know what it does, it increases your mana by a small amount. However, the major benefit of such an item is that it also allows us to craft another item, which will allow us to craft another item, and so on and so forth. Eventually it'll give us the ability to craft the Mana Shackles, I believe it's referred to as. Or the Mana Cuffs. And they're an item that every time you get hit, you take, for every bit of damage you take, you gain mana back. And with some of the armors that we'll get later on, that is massively, massively useful to us. But for the current time and place, it's not massively useful to us right now. So if we don't manage to get it right away, we can always come back at some point if we so choose, and do it that way instead. Digging here is going to be a little bit slow, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig down a little bit here, and we'll start throwing bombs, so we can get down to this one here. Ooh, I hope that doesn't blow me up. It didn't, thankfully. So the reason I'm doing this is because I want to open up that one down here, so we don't have to dig to it. And it'll also give us, of course, not only the extra orb, which we can get to, but an easy way out, hopefully. Okay, that should be good enough. I don't want the next orb to, by chance, break the, or the next bomb to, by chance, break the orb. Alright, there we go with that. And we've gotten all of this stuff out of the way. We've definitely got what we need. Let's break this orb and we'll fight it. There's a Vile Thorn. That's not too bad of an object to get us. So now you can see that this is why the Slime Mount is just so good against these bosses. And it's still very, very good against these bosses. We did also get the Vile Thorn, so I'm going to replace our Wand of Sparking with that. I'm going to use that actually, because it's really good against the Eater of Worlds. You'll see here. And so with our Slime Mounts pretty much just cheesing this boss fight for us again. We're just going to destroy him. absolutely wreck him. He really doesn't have a chance against us with this, does he? Even though he's splitting off into multiple shards at this point, because of the way we can just destroy him with all this damage. We're getting lots of extra hearts from the destroyed bits, and also doing lots of extra damage to him. Gotta make sure to stay up in the air though, that is the one downside to this. If you stay on the ground too long, you will get hit. And that's no bueno. But we're doing pretty good here. Pretty much just letting him come to us. Just destroying him that way. Wow. I expected him to actually put up a fight. He so far has not put up pretty much any fights whatsoever. Let's get our slime mount back, because he's just being annoying is what he is. There he is. And that was the Eater of Worlds defeated. Not a tough fight, really. Especially not with our slime mounts. We really can cheese these early fights with the slime mounts, man. I didn't realize how good of a mount that is to have early on, but it is a grand one. So we're going to open our treasure bag, and we got a warding worm scarf. That's not a bad one to have. So the major thing about worm scarf is it reduces damage taken by 17%. This is all damage. So no matter what type of damage it is, it will be reduced by 17%. We'll take off our panic necklace for the time being, and we'll use our worm scarf. We'll pretty much be using that worm scarf until almost the end of the game, really. If not all the way till the end of the game. Oh, forgive me. I accidentally tugged on my headphone cable there. Let's try and break a couple more orbs, and then we'll pretty much end the episode out. A shadow orb. It's not too bad to have. We got a light pet. It's our first light pet. Thanks to our Vile Thorn as well, we can now just hit enemies through walls. Break that. Got another Vile Thorn. Not massively useful to us, but not terrible. I would hate to say that we should fight another one, but I guess we should, because we do need that band of star power. We'll destroy as many shadow orbs as we can while we're here, and we'll just go from there. Hopefully with the pathways up like this, we should be able to get down to any shadow orbs we might need to get to. So we'll just start breaking our way down. Easy. And I can also start over here as well. Okay, and now we've kind of cleared out some of the water here, which is also nice. We'll take and we'll put little platforms across these holes that we've created, as to not fall down them when we're trying to fight the Eater there, as dying to the Eater would be most unfortunate like that. So go right there. Let me just stick a bomb right there and we'll see if that works. It did. Fantastic. So stick one there. Seems that fish is going to give us problems. But we can destroy it with our Vile Thorn. So, of course, if you don't know what the Vile Thorn is, I'm surprised you'd be watching this playthrough. As you, I would imagine you'd probably wanted to have watched my previous playthrough beforehand. The Vile Thorn is just a simple magical tool that shoots a projectile which goes through walls and is very, very good at piercing damage. As you can see, that's kind of how the Eater of Worlds spawns. It just kind of spawns in like a big old bundle. I don't really know a better way to describe that than a big old bundle. It's kind of a weird thing, isn't it, though? We're just gonna shoot him. Might even just sword him here. Start getting out our Vile Thorn again. I think we got more mana. It's best to, when you're truly trying to fight the Eater of Worlds as efficiently as possible, the best thing to do is most certainly go for the head. as then he won't split, and as he doesn't split, you don't have as much trouble with him potentially hitting you from areas you didn't know about before. But of course, because he is one of the first bosses in the game, he doesn't really have a lot of difficult mechanics or anything that you really, really need to watch out for. And our good old worm, or not worm, but slime bounce is really doing some work. Plus the combination of that and the vile thorn that we got, really just destroying him. He doesn't really even have a chance. There you go, and he's done for. We're also getting a lot of gold from this, which is good. Of course, for reasons described previously. So there is also a thing to note is on expert he does shoot those little projectiles like the one you just saw. Same as like the other eaters did. Those little projectiles can be troubling if you weren't expecting them. They do give you a debuff. I don't remember what the debuff is. I believe it's like melee damage down. But we're not really worried about that, are we? Melee damage down, considering we're mostly using magic. Taboo. That's not really worth it. Alright, let's pop open another one of these orbs. We got another shadow orb. Let's open up one more. I got a bunch more down there, but we'll open up one more in this episode, and then we'll call it an episode. My throat's kind of hurting. Because we did pretty much what we needed to do, and hopefully we'll get that band of star power from one of these. Oh, strong ball of hurt. Nope, doesn't seem we did. We got a ball of hurt. So I'll probably come back at some point in maybe my own time and break some more of those and maybe kill the Eater of Worlds a couple more times, but that's nothing that you guys need to be worried about. That's just me trying to farm for items. Here, I can show off that aura now. See, this is the aura of the life regen from our Crimson Armor. Looks kind of cool in its own right. But yeah, so that's pretty much the end of this episode. Next time we'll be back on our own world and not worrying about anything else. Hopefully I'll be well again by that point, and we'll be able to tackle some of the next bosses that we have to tackle. But until then, goodbye.